glad you visited my channel. Don't forget to subscribe and put a like. It really motivates me to create new videos. I hope you all enjoy this story. My parents love going to all kinds of gatherings and events, and they always take me with them. I honestly don't mind it too much. I love the festive atmosphere. Almost every week, we have some kind of celebration, whether it's a barbecue at our country house or someone's birthday. My parents have a lot of friends over, and as a result, I have eaten more cakes than most people my age. At the age of 20, I still live with my parents, along with my girlfriend, as we both attend a local college. My parents are more relaxed when we are close by, under their care. Once again, we went to a stranger's birthday party. This time, it was my dad's best friend, Ashley. My girlfriend couldn't make it because she already had plans with her friends, so I went alone, not really excited. It was just another holiday, or so I thought. But it was going to end up being an unforgettable one. In the evening, we arrived at the party as usual. We congratulated the birthday girl, gave her our gifts, and then sat down to eat. My dad wasted no time and poured everyone, including me, a glass of wine. The birthday girl, Ashley, seemed particularly interested in me and asked a bunch of questions, almost like an interrogation. When I first met her, she hugged me like family and sat next to me, wanting to know everything about my life. I tried to share general news about school, university, my girlfriend, but I didn't want to get too deep into a conversation with someone I hardly knew. Many of these people either hadn't seen me since childhood or had never met me at all. Soon the barbecue was ready. I ate until I was full, and then I did what I always did. I leaned back on the couch, waiting for the evening to come to an end. Things got even more interesting when I was offered a drink with everyone else, since I was now considered one of the adults. As a child, my father had only allowed me to have a glass of champagne on New Year's Eve, and here were grown-ups pouring me shots of cognac. My mom laughed as she handed me a shot glass. I must say, I was glad that my first real experience with alcohol was in such a safe environment and not in some dubious place. I didn't even notice how intoxicated I was, even though I hadn't been drinking that much. My mood instantly improved, and soon people were dancing. I danced with my parents first, then Ashley intercepted me, wrapping her arms around me as we moved. I felt slightly dizzy, and in that moment, she seemed to pull me closer. Ashley held my hand, leading me down the hallway to one of the bedrooms. From the looks of it, we were staying the night. Ashley, who had just turned 40, was the same age as my father. She was attractive, confident, and seemed to know exactly what she wanted. When we sat down, she gently stroked my head, almost soothingly. Her fingers ran through my hair, and she looked at me with a smile that was both warm and a little mischievous. Suddenly, I sobered up quickly when I realized she was unbuttoning her shirt. I blinked, not sure if I was imagining things. Opening my eyes, I saw a half-undressed girl in front of me. Noticing my astonished expression, she smiled mischievously. "Your girlfriend is young, and this will stay between us," she said in a calm voice. "You'll thank me later." Part of me wanted to say no, but at that moment, I just couldn't help myself. There was something about the way she was looking at me, a mixture of desire and confidence that I couldn't shake off. Her hands were gentle, her touch was electric, and before I knew it, we were in a moment that felt both surreal and exciting. It was like a dream I couldn't believe. We spent the entire night together, and it was a blur of sensations, emotions, and intimacy that felt strangely comfortable and yet completely wrong at the same time. Early in the morning, I woke up to the dim light coming through the curtains. For a second, I hoped it was all just a ridiculous dream, but when I turned my head, I saw her sleeping next to me. My heart dropped, and reality hit me hard. I had to admit that last night had really happened. I lay staring at the ceiling for a while, thoughts of what I had done and what it would mean for my relationship with my girlfriend running through my head. Guilt began to overwhelm me, and I wondered if I had made the worst mistake of my life. I slowly got out of bed, trying not to wake Ashley. My head was splitting, and I was feeling a strange combination of emotions: guilt, confusion, and even a lingering excitement. I quietly left the room and headed to the bathroom. Splashing cold water on my face, I looked at my reflection in the mirror. My eyes were bloodshot, and my hair was a mess. I took a deep breath, trying to calm down, but my thoughts were a mess. How did I let this happen? What am I supposed to do now? Walking out of the bathroom, I ran into my father in the hallway. He smiled understandingly and patted me on the back. "Rough night, huh?" he said, grinning. I forced myself to smile and nodded slightly. He had no idea what had happened, and I felt a prick of guilt, realizing that I had crossed a line I should never have crossed. I went back into the living room, where some of the guests were still sleeping on the couches, and sat down, trying to make sense of everything that had happened. Ashley eventually woke up and joined everyone in the kitchen. She acted as if nothing had happened, greeting everyone cheerfully and chatting with my parents like it was any other morning. I watched her from across the room, wondering how she could be so calm, so poised after what we had done. At one point, she caught my eye and winked at me subtly, and I quickly averted my eyes, blushing. It was clear that she had no intention of letting anyone find out, and I couldn't help but feel a sense of relief mixed with an overwhelming sense of guilt. The rest of the morning passed like a blur. I hardly spoke at all, immersed in my own thoughts. My mom noticed this and asked if I was feeling okay, and I just blamed it on the alcohol, saying I wasn't used to drinking so much. She smiled sympathetically and handed me a glass of water, telling me to calm down. I nodded, grateful that she didn't insist any further. I couldn't bear the thought that someone might find out what had really happened. When we finally left the party and headed home, I sat in the back seat of the car and stared out the window. My dad and mom were chatting in the front seat, talking about how great the party was and how much fun everyone had. I forced myself to smile as they looked back at me, but inside, I felt a heaviness I couldn't shake off. I knew that what happened with Ashley would stay with me, that it was a secret that I would have to carry around, and I had no idea how I was going to move on.